Welcome to the back
to the back
podcast. That I don't know, like we're getting it. The energy, the flow, it's flowing.
Yeah.
It's flowing like opera.
Yeah.
Finally got a useful thing for this. Something to hold, to do with my hands.
Oh, comfort.
You know?
Yeah,
comfort. I don't know.
I don't know either.
How are we gonna introduce this episode? Welcome to another episode. Welcome back.
Welcome
to the back.
No, I'm not gonna do it again.
I was gonna make a rap that's kind of going with what we're not.
It is kind of going with what we're going. Sorry, but now I'm thinking Malibu's Most Wanted.
What's your favorite album? We're about to talk about ours. The ones that we think are no skippables.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't.
Which means, to clarify, the way I interpret it is not that every song is a masterpiece. I mean, some of these I would classify them as that.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, either the songs just fit so well together as an album as a whole, like, it would be weird to skip it. Or the songs are each individually so good on their own that, like, why would you, like, there's, like, you're not going to, like, you can just put on the album, like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
They're like the basic no skip.
I mean, some of these are my favorite albums, but there's some albums that are favorite albums that are sure. Like that I don't consider no skip, but yeah, I just like that's just like you can put it on and listen to it straight through, and maybe some songs you don't like quite as much, but they're still good and you still can vibe with it. Yeah. So no skip albums.
Damn. Your Texas came out right there.
And no,
you heard it too. Steal. I steal good. Steal.
I've noticed the more we record, the more I actually really do have a Texas accent.
Yeah.
Which just
you gotta do a Texas episode at some point.
We will. Yeah. It's just weird because I'm not a native. I was born in Florida, but my parents are both native Texans. My dad actually grew up in Grand Prairie, and we moved back. They moved us back here when I was 7, and I'm 45 now. So basically, I'm like a Texan. That's how I grew up.
Yeah.
And Dakota was born and raised here, which, anyhow, we'll talk about that when we do the Texas episode.
Yeah.
But I have noticed as we've done more recording that I always used to think I had more like of a newscaster accent, where it's not very just like a nondescript.
I
don't know where
I have a nondescript.
But I feel like
the forecast calls for 85%
I do
chance
think
rain.
In general, yes, I have you can't quite place where I'm from unless get like excited in any form, whether I'm angry or or excited or tired. Like especially when I'm tired, it comes out a lot.
No, yeah,
because you're just like I think it's because I'm not masking. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, to be honest.
Anyhow, on to music. Which is like is probably what the thing besides you that I love the most.
Obviously, I think we're both very artistic, but like I think music might be the most universal language.
I do believe that, yes, especially since there's like it's very hard for me as someone who is an avid reader. Do I love music more? Do I love books more? But I would say it leans to music because you still have the written word in there, which I mean, that's why.
But I'm saying, like, I'll listen to like a song in any language. I listen to a song with no words or like no one, like just like a beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and like literally, it goes down to like it's like so cheesy. Like music is in our soul, but literally, our hearts have a rhythm. Like rhythm is so ingrained in I think human culture, and I just think like. It's weird when someone says, I don't listen to music. That's so weird to me. And like, don't get me wrong, I love me a good podcast, but like, to not listen to music?
It's weird to me when it's not just that, I won't listen to music or I only listen to one genre. That's real weird to me.
That I don't understand that.
Now, I'll be honest. I can't really do heavy metal.
The only
that's a hard one for me.
That I really like haven't. I even like some country. Like I used to say, like country's the only one I don't, but like I even like some country, not mainstream country nowadays. It's mainly like other ones that are like more, I guess, like soul and bluegrass, like earlier on country. But like, I don't know. It's just like it's just so weird to me. You know what I mean?
I feel like it's very limiting, and also just when everyone's like, "What would you take on a desert island if you could take one thing?" It would be Nano. Like, it would just be something that I can get music from. Like,
I would take my old school MP3 player. I wish I still had that.
Yeah, I think I still have some.
Kids don't know. They don't know these days, and I know you're looking at me crazy because
I'm about to say because I had a Walkman.
I was gonna say Walkman
with a cassette in it. So, and also then onto CD, and you had to get that anti-skip, which it never was anti-skip.
I don't know what that
ever.
Means. I mean, I had an MP3.
You know what a CD player is?
I had an MP3 player that had, I use it. I had a CD player.
Yeah.
But I had like the MP3 player. It's just so weird. Like, and then like, it was like you just put in the headphone jack and then you like click the thing. Or because it was like the poor man's, I guess, iPod Touch at the time.
I mean, I guess I never had an iPod because again, I hate Apple.
Yeah.
But.
Well, like, I look back at old Office episodes where, like, Pam gets, like, the iPod thing, and I was thinking about now how, like, that's so primitive, compared to the music and the platform.
Now you just have it on your phone, so.
Yeah.
But anyhow, let's get into it.
Oh, yeah, we're, like, already 6 minutes in.
Oh,
like,
I'm not worried about that, but it's very difficult. I know I could do a whole lot more, and I probably won't even hit all of the ones that I have on here, but.
Do you want to start with?
Oh, yeah, because we both pulled it out. We brought props today.
Oh, I didn't pull mine out.
You didn't? Well, this is
our last name.
Yeah.
Jackson. We're the Jackson 7. You're 6, I'm 7.
Okay. This is probably the first.
Michael Jackson Taylor.
This is probably the first album.
Here, it's the best. Isn't it the best selling album of all time? So shouldn't we start with it?
I mean, I don't know.
It is. I think it's the best-selling album of all time.
I just remember, obviously, I knew, like, the Jackson 5 because I was born in 78, so I'm not, like, dumb, right? But this is, when I was born, Michael Jackson, that's when he was, like, going out on his own as a solo career, and...
Michael Jackson, 1982, album Thriller.
So in 1982, when this came out, what?
60 million units.
I was 4, right?
I wasn't born.
Yeah, and I was actually in kindergarten. I started kindergarten a year early because I could already read.
That was a concept.
And I remember having not just I had this as a folder. And yes, I was obsessed with Michael Jackson.
No, I was too.
Obsessed. I was like, I want to marry him. I won't even have to change my last name. It was a real big plus for me. But it was just I don't know how to explain because especially your generation, MTV didn't really do MTV premiered when I was a kid, and the Billie Jean music video for this and Thriller. We recorded on a VCR. My mom recorded Thriller. We had it on a videotape.
Oh my God.
It was just, and also another reason we're doing our no skip, a lot of these are albums that I feel like
resonate.
Fundamentally change the chemistry in my brain.
It's those from what is it? Inside Out, those golden memories or whatever.
Yeah.
Those core memories that alter.
And this album for me, the songs from it, every single Pretty Young Thing. Come on, man.
Wanna Be Starting Something. I'm just gonna go good. Wanna Be Starting Something. Baby Be Mine. The Girl Is Mine, Thriller, Beat It, Billie Jean, Human Nature, PYT, and The Lady in My Life. These are all insane list.
This is literally the definition of a no skip album.
That's insane.
It's so good.
Produced by Quincy Jones.
Well,
God.
Come on, yeah. It's and I would say it's black excellence right here. Come on, Quincy and him. It's just the way I was so obsessed with this man, so obsessed with every song on here, the music videos, just. I legitimately thought I was going to marry him when I was a little kid. But so, yeah, that would have been my first one that I remember as a core memory. Oh my God. I mean, my dad, if he was alive, he'd probably say it was the Grease soundtrack because he would tell me how I would
I have soundtracks on here.
Yeah, I do too. How I would stand in the back of the car and sing along to it. And granted, remember, this is the early 80s. Seatbelt laws and shit like that wasn't a thing. So that would be.
I just want to check real quick to make sure if we have any of the same ones.
Oh, there's one I didn't put on there that I feel like you would have too, but
we have one I'm seeing for sure, and then we have another. So we should go in there.
Well, I was gonna let you go next on what.
You do any of your single ones? We share that one. That's both on ours.
Oh.
And so another one that we share, my favorite movie of all time, at least tied with it. Scott Pilgrim vs. The World.
we need to bring it up so make sure they see it.
You know, I mean,
yeah, here you go.
I need to stop. I probably wasn't even the camera option. You need to hold it, because I noticed it's like right here.
Yeah.
But no. Scott Pilgrim Vs. The World, Clash at Demon Head, Black Sheep.
Yeah.
Like, Metric. Yeah. Like, the way it starts and like.
It's just, it is. It's a vibe for sure.
It's such a, I hate that, but it's such a vibe.
I know.
Like, literally. And like the way it plays with the movie, it's so good. Like, I don't, like, oh my God. If you haven't seen this movie, watch it. And if you, like, don't even care for nerdy stuff, at least for the soundtrack alone. Like, I literally would recommend the movie, not just because of the movie, but because of the soundtrack.
It's so funny though too. Like,
no, yeah, I was playing the anime this morning. Yeah,
yeah, I saw that. Black Sheep is on my one of my workout playlists. So
yeah, no,
like, it is a really, really great soundtrack.
Literally, I won't like. This song is called "We Hate You, Please Die."
Yes, I know.
And it's like, that's why I started laughing. It's like 30 seconds.
I was thinking about that whenever you were talking about. That's why I like kind of giggled because I was just like, they have a girl drummer too. Like, it's a really good movie. It's a really good soundtrack.
And then the last one that we share on there. I agree with it. You don't have it. It's the Black Panther soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
like the original. Like I like Wakanda Forever. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like the Black Panther soundtrack, I still get chills. That talk about like defining.
It's a beautiful soundtrack.
The movie ending. I'm sitting there, and we went to see like a late showing, so I'm already kind of delirious.
And I was sick. I took you sick. This is before COVID, obviously.
It was late. It was like all the hype, and we finally we can't wait anymore. We watched it. The way that movie, like after watching the movie and how I felt as a Black person, and then it was all the stars thing was the last like thing that ended it. And it was like the cinematic thing. Oh my God. Like it was that Ratatouille moment.
Yeah.
But like instead of taking me back to my childhood, it just like confirmed how I felt and how I feel as a Black man.
Yeah.
And like a Black nerd and like this superhero-ness and like this like Black excellence. It was insane. But like that soundtrack's like what Kendrick did with that soundtrack is fucking
he was nominated
phenomenal.
For that too, wasn't he?
I don't think he won.
I don't think he won, but he was nominated.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. Actually, I don't think All the Stars. I think was nominated individually, and it should have won if it didn't.
Yeah, that was what it was for sure.
Because it's like him and Rihanna. It's Rihanna, right? That's on there with him. It's Riri. It's so beautiful.
Trying to get to the actual album track list, just to remember who's on it. So yeah, you got like Kendrick, SZA.
SZA's on there, yeah, I know that.
All the Stars is Kendrick and SZA. But,
okay, that's what it
Rihanna
is. She's on the second album.
No, I think she does. She did the second album, Wakanda Forever.
That's what I was thinking of.
My actually favorite song from that is Seasons. But like you have Kendrick, Travis Scott, The Weeknd, Pray For Me, Georgia Smith,
The Weeknd's on that, yes.
Vince Staples, Schoolboy Q. Like it's insane.
Yeah.
So good. But yeah, you can go with.
Okay, mine. The ones I brought for visuals are kind of in chronological order of my life, but the next one is Tina Turner.
I mean, I'm not gonna.
Hold on. Look at the legs. Look at the legs on that woman.
The legs are on the back, no?
Yeah,
I was supposed to say.
Legs too.
The legs are legging.
This is again another like I obviously didn't really know about her when she was with Ike. My introduction to Tina Turner was this album. And then I went back and like all this other stuff as I got older, but this, I mean, it's What's Love Got to Do with It, Private Dancer, Better Be Good to Me, I Can't Stand the Rain is on this one.
So this episode is really trying not to get copyrighted.
Yeah,
I'm trying not to sing.
Yeah, I mean, when I say that I live and breathe music, like I have this, and then that, like, and then also have a music lyric next to that, and this is probably hitting this microphone too much. Sorry.
You're good.
Like I live and breathe music, and I was just, again, with the music videos on, I did not know that Private Dancer was what it was about as a kid.
I could just know from the title.
If you'd listened to it when you were a kid, you wouldn't know.
That's fair.
All right. I'm just saying I was like, I think I was like 6 or 7 when this came out. I don't know. I just remember like they're dancing and they're dancing in the music video, right? Obviously. And that's not what it's really about, but I just thought that's what it was about. And it's so beautiful. I just remember thinking how beautiful she was and all this other stuff. Like, but it's more of just her voice. God, I love like a raspy voice. And especially when it's raspy and you can belt too. Like, I don't know. It's just amazing. So this was another one that fundamentally changed my brain. Do you want to go on? Cheers?
Yeah. Talk about fundamentally changing your brain as a kid. This album, like, young Dakota contributes so much to this album. We have
I didn't put that on the list, but that was going to be
Doo-Wops and Hooligans.
That is a no skip album.
Oh my God, was he in his bag?
Yeah.
With the fedora and the vest and the I would catch a grenade for you.
The way way you're obsessed with talking to the moon.
I'm about to tell a story. Little me. First of all, if you haven't watched a movie called A Turtle's Tale, it's basically Finding Nemo, but not as popular, but low-key a little better. It got me in my feels. It's very choked up. I don't know where it's on right now.
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Spoiler warning. At the end, it's basically like a turtle trying to find this other girl turtle that he saw when he was younger. And it's like he's been searching throughout the whole sea, right? Kind of like Finding Nemo. And then basically he's like trying to find her and like everyone's looking at him weird. And then in the background is talking to the moon. And it's like, I know you're out there are you talking to me too? And little me just started bawling his eyes out. I don't know why, but like, oh my God, that song.
I vaguely remember you liking that movie, but I don't think it's one that I don't know. I guess I
told you this story though, but like I literally, as that turtle did, there was one of my like first early on crushes in elementary school. Like she moved after 3rd grade. And I like never told her like how I felt. Like I remember like we were in PE and she like said something to me once and I held on to that forever. And then I said nothing after that. And like we'd be like in like singing in like the assembly line for music and I would like look and like, oh maybe I should say something. And I was like, no, I'm just too shy. But like I literally remember like staying in my bed on my little 3DS, singing that Bruno Mars Talking to Me Too, looking at the moon in the night and being like, I know she's out there somewhere.
You know, I mean, I can't fault you.
I've talked about that, but like literally, Grenade, Just the Way You Are, Runaway Baby, The Lazy Song. Bro, The Lazy Song had my generation on hold.
It definitely was inappropriate.
Liquor Store Blues, Count on Me.
Liquor Store Blues, I love so much.
Oh my God. Marry You, bro. That's literally used in so many. So many people have used that
Glee
for their
made
wedding.
It iconic with that episode.
I'm trying, like literally, it's just, there's such a bop, all the songs.
It's definitely a really good one.
This was, I mean, I think Bruno Mars' peak at all times, honestly.
Yeah, the man is talented.
I think he's gone from like underrated to overrated to basically like, I just think you can't deny his talent at this point. You can say like maybe it's not for you, but you can't deny how good
he's very
and
talented.
What much he produces, like quality.
Yeah.
But like, I think, I was gonna say this is peak, but all of it is peak, but like, this is my favorite. But I also love Unorthodox Jukebox.
Yeah.
And everything after, you know.
Let's see. I'm probably not going to get through all these. Okay, so the next one for me is Fleetwood Mac's The Dance. This is a live album that I have literally... Now, this is the first time I've bought the record, right? Because the records weren't really, like, a popular thing when this came out. Like, they kind of faded away for a while.
Yeah.
And so, but I've bought that CD 3 separate times, because like one time it got stolen, another time it got lost, and then now I own the CD and the record, and it's also on my play. Like, it's so good. It's so good. I mean, I love like I don't. You probably don't see it, but on my TikTok I get a lot of Silver Springs, her singing to Lindsay, like Stevie Nicks, and it's really, really, really good album. Every single song on there is The Chain, Dreams Everywhere, Rihanna. It's one of my favorite ones is My Little Demons. Like, I don't know. Tusk is so good. Like, Go Your Own Way. Fleetwood Mac is, I know they're not underrated, but sometimes I think like in the grand scheme of like, like the Beatles and the Rolling Stones and stuff like that, they kind of get lost. Because it's definitely a very distinct sound. I mean, again, his is another. I mean, obviously, Stevie Nicks of the singers is my favorite from that band. Yeah. And again, it goes with that raspy type voice that I just really, really love.
I have other albums. There's 2 others, but I don't really have there's other albums I want to talk about more. Probably my favorite album of all time. I don't know why I'm just now saying it, but Childish Gambino, Because the Internet.
Yeah.
That is it's basically a young rich kid talking about his feels and whatever, but that it's so the way when I first discovered, because obviously Donald Glover in general is just an idol for me. Mm-hmm. And so when I look up to so much and everything he does artistically, and I fell in love with him through his music and through Community, and ever since everything he's produced since. But because you've heard me play that so much, and it's even the album itself, I'm just gonna pop up an image, but the album cover, it's got it's got the sunset color palette, it resonates with me so much, and I think I know every song in that verbatim, word for word. I listen to that so much. Every year on my Spotify Wrapped, there is a song from that album in there.
Yeah.
Whether it's 3005, it's normally Telegraph Avenue, because that's probably my favorite song, Oakland, or Sweatpants. Oh my God. I love him so much, bro. I hope I die before he dies. That, time-wise, that'd be weird. But I don't want to see him die. You know what I mean? I don't want
No, I mean
okay, how about this? How about I live to 100 and he lives to 120 or whatever, and then we die at the same time.
All right. I was because he is older than you, so let's not.
That'll be one that will crush my soul. Has there been that for music? For your generation?
For music? Well, I mean,
it was Michael Jackson.
It was Michael Jackson. I remember
what it was when Michael Jackson died.
Also say George Michael, and mainly also because he died at the same time Carrie Fisher did, which was I'm sorry, not Mike. George Michael. I love George Michael. Again, another one that I was obsessed with. Obviously, before I knew he was gay, that I was I'm gonna marry that man. He was but he's just such a soulful singer. He's so good, but also,
yeah.
Sorry, just thinking about Deadpool.
I just want to sing songs now. I just want to sing.
This is another one again because I'm that very young Gen X. Really, what you call Zennial, because a lot of millennial experiences. I'm but that's what I experienced. So because I was born in '78, I'm just right there on that cusp. Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill. This is a no skip album. This is the first, I think. Obviously, Stevie Nicks, I experienced some sense of feminine rage, but it was more toned down than this. Then You Ought to Know, out the gate, because that was the first single off of this. The feminine, and I was I must say I was 17. When did it come out? Look at the thing. It's 96, but I feel I could be wrong on that. It's probably on here somewhere that I can't read.
Came out 95.
95. Okay, so I was a year ahead. I couldn't remember if it was 94 or 96, so in between 95. So yeah, I was in high school when this came out, and not that I knew anything about I think I just barely kissed a boy by 1995. Yeah, yeah. But I think all women, especially by the time you're 12 or 13, you know feminine rage. You know it. If you're growing up in this society, you already know it. So even if it's coming out in a way that you don't expressly know, you can feel it. It's guttural, and that's what this. And then it's not just that there's feminine rage. There's very soft, feminine songs on here too. Yeah. It's just a perfect album. Literally, and one of my other ones, which I don't have on record, The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Oh my God, why did I mention that? I'm so stupid.
I'm sorry. How iconic is this woman?
Forgive me.
That she made, obviously she was with the Fugees before,
right? Let me repent for my sins. God.
That she made one album and was that's it, I'm done. And it was a masterpiece. You get to leave on a masterpiece.
She literally, she gave Earth the best gift she could give
and she was like, peace out.
Peace out.
Yeah. And Alanis could have done that with this album. 100% she could have. I do feel like, I guess maybe for white people, right? Like for white women, this would have definitely, I mean, I know every color woman loves this album too, just the way they love the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill. Like, again, it's that feminine rage mixed like with and masculine, but also with feminine. Like, it's, I don't know how to explain it, but these are albums that literally changed the chemistry of my brain. No, and that I feel them in my bones.
But that's a great segue. Literally, I forgot to put this on there, but it's one of the top albums all the time. Speaking of white women, but also speaking of white women who are down with it, talking about my girl, Miss Hayley Williams of Paramore, Riot.
Oh, I didn't know where you were going on that one.
Oh my God, Paramore is my favorite band. Riot, oh my God. That, and do you know what's on Riot? Or do you know exactly what song?
Not every single song, no.
Well, it's got Misery Business.
Yeah, obviously. Sure. It was the lead single off of it.
It's got Hallelujah. It's got, but I feel like people just know Misery Business and don't listen to all of it. I feel like you should really listen to Paramore's discography.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you, I'm saying the general populace.
No, she is extremely talented.
She is so, you literally sent
vocally,
me a TikTok
she's, yeah.
This other day, or this morning, I saw this morning, I think maybe, but it was someone isolated her vocals, but I've seen her actually in the booth recording.
Yeah.
Her vocals are insane, and the passion they put into each of their things is so, whether that's how they feel now, I just it really resonated with me at the time in caps. That's the favorite thing about albums, because it's like a time capsule basically of how the artist was feeling in that moment.
Yeah.
And it's forever to be put out into the world.
Right.
And touch other people.
I don't think any of the ones I've listed though are problematic either. I was just thinking about that. How
we started with Michael Jackson.
He's not problematic. No, that's just all made up. I'm not even gonna. Nope.
Okay.
So, I'm saying as someone who personally has experienced that.
I'm saying I don't want to touch it. Let's move on.
Not problematic. But whatever. I was just gonna say I also think a lot of the ones that we've I think that you obviously besides talent and everything, you just also resonate with their soul.
Yeah.
That's what when you were talking about, that's what they were feeling. I think that your soul resonates with their soul.
Yeah.
And when you can capture that.
Paramore had young emo Dakota.
Yeah. Very angsty.
Punk angsty Dakota.
Hey, they had Converse, me whenever they came out too.
Tony
I was
Hawk.
in my 20s when they hit the scene. So I was still very much I'm always in my feels. I'm very angsty regardless. Yeah. Another one that I just absolutely fell in love with is En Vogue's debut album. It's got Hold On, Lies, Don't Go, My Lovin', You're Never Gonna Get It, giving him something he can feel, which is a cover. I didn't realize that. But God, it's so good. I actually prefer this one. Free Your Mind, which is also such a really, really good music video. Give It Up, Turn It Loose, Don't Let Go. It's really, really, really good. And I think I was in middle school, so I kind of actually skipped around. I was in middle school when this one came out. But I just really, and also I think at the same time, TLC's On the Cool Tip came out. And I know I'd heard I'd heard LL Cool J. I had heard Run DMC before, right? Rap wise.
Yeah.
But and I know Queen Latifah was already out on the scene too, but this was a girl group that rapped and also had singing in it, and I just fell in love. And also Crazy Sexy Cool. So their first two albums just are no skip albums. They're so good. I've bought Crazy Sexy Cool at least twice on CD because of losing it, maybe more than that too, actually. But I just loved them. I'm so grateful that I grew up in a time period with the way that R&B and rap was bursting onto the scene and becoming mainstream. I'm really, really grateful for that.
Oh, is it my turn?
Yeah,
I was listening.
I was gonna keep talking, but you look like you were trying to tell me wrap it up. I saw the wrap it up box.
I was just in your
head.
I wish I grew up with En Vogue more.
En Vogue is so good. They're so good.
I'm just I'm upset with myself because I'm gonna talk about this, but I don't know. I don't know what to go to next. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
I'm gonna say this one for last. This is a good one. I don't know. I'm surprised you didn't pull it out.
No, it's because you took mine. That's my album you took. And just never gave back.
Songs in the Key of Life by Mr. Stevie Wonder.
Let's be honest. Stevie Wonder can sing anything, and it's going to be amazing.
But, I mean, when you have Sir Duke, I Wish, Knock Me Off of My Feet, Isn't She Lovely, like, It's Magic, As Another Star.
It's, yeah.
Literally all of his are, like, technically no skips, in my opinion.
No, I'm saying
but this is, like, I think, the one, like, to pull, like, of it.
I think if you freakishly have never heard of Stevie Wonder, right?
Put it this way.
Like, if you freakishly never heard of him, that would be the one.
Well, I was going to say, if aliens came down, they were like, give us an album to experience music. What is your offering? Would definitely be up there. I'd be like, here's Stevie Wonder. Yeah. Listen, fun fact, he's blind. Like, I think it's the perfect, like, no, it's hard for me to imagine someone can go without life without hearing music. But if somehow someone went like years without hearing any kind of music, and I had to give them their first experience of music, it might be this. It might be Stevie.
Well, I'm just thinking of Captain America. Remember whenever he comes out of being Frozen?
America came out of Frozen, yeah. If you were Captain America Frozen,
and he's getting all these suggestions on music,
like Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, definitely. Here's one that I know that you love too.
Well, yeah, I saw that and I'm mad at myself. Yeah,
that you didn't bring Amy Winehouse out.
I don't have Amy Winehouse's.
Well, I mean, you're not stealing another album from me. I think about like that whole like joke, what Roman Empire with men, right? Which is such a weird thing to me. But this is one of my Roman empires, Amy Winehouse. I weep sometimes for what we lost as a world. Like, I think about us because I've got Adele, as well up here. I think about, would Adele have been as big if Amy had lived?
We talked about that. I don't know.
I mean, I still,
because they're both
insanely talented,
right? Yeah, I forget.
Like,
they're both British,
and I don't feel like they have the same voice. Amy's is again very raspy, very fit for blues type of voice, right? So I don't feel like they have even the same quality, but I definitely feel like Adele came in and filled that gaping hole that Amy left over that. And for us, like, it is, I love this album so much, so much. And then Adele,
you can just go to
Adele. I have 21 on vinyl. I don't have 19, which I need to get.
Both of those.
I'm not saying that her other ones aren't good, but 19 and 21 are her best ones.
Singable albums?
Yeah.
Adele's 19 and 21? Oh my God.
Yeah.
And
I'll say for me, as someone who's heavier, right, when 19 came onto the scene, I saw her perform live. I think it was like on the Today Show or something like that. And it might have been The View. Might have just happened to have that on. Whatever. I don't know. Because it's not something I like watch regularly.
On the reg.
But it was on just like in the background or something. I was just like, oh my God, look at this young girl. And it didn't matter. Like, and she's beautiful. She's always been beautiful. She will always, like, what is it? The face card will never decline, right? It's that I was just like, hey, here's someone who's not super stick thin that is being acknowledged for her talent. And she is insanely talented. So I still think she would be big. I just don't know I don't know how big. If you already had Amy still there. But maybe she still might have been catastrophic. Like, I would have loved to have heard them together.
Things about rappers after Tupac, you know what I mean?
Yeah, true.
And Biggie, like, you know what I mean?
And it would have been cool.
If they didn't pass, what would the rap scene look like now?
I really would have loved to have heard an Adele and Amy
album that's
together.
One of those dreams.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this Miss Lady Gaga in there too. Yeah, sorry.
That would be insane.
But yeah, those are, as far as visuals, those are the physical albums I have. I have a list of other ones, but
oh yeah, I still have way more on my list. But like this, I wish I had all three. He has so many more, but like, I mean, like Kendrick Lamar, K-Dot, who I think,
City, right?
Yeah, it's Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah,
my favorite's either Damn. I think Damn would I say is the most no skippable, either that or To Pimp a Butterfly. I still think Good Kid, Mad City is no skippable, especially if you love and appreciate rap and
right.
like I hate saying lyricist rap, but you know what I mean?
No, like, I mean, I'm wearing
that
Tupac.
kind of style of like poetic rap, especially if you like appreciate that kind. This is definitely no skippable, but the man, like, for me, he may not be my favorite rapper of all time, but for me, he's the greatest, and I know for my generation, he probably is the greatest. Just because he don't miss. Mm-hmm. This man don't miss. Like he's Usopp.
I think it's hard.
He's Sniper King Usopp. He's just hitting.
Yeah. Stop.
Dot after dot after dot after dot. This man is like he took the torch and he carried it. He didn't carry it. He ran with it.
Well, producing wise too, he's just.
We even talked about Black Panther. I literally forgot about that.
Yeah, I know he's extremely talented.
All's my life I had to fight. We gonna be all right.
Yeah, he is. He's so talented.
Give me that.
I think I probably don't have as love for him as much just because he came on when I'm in my 30s.
Yeah, and I think Damn's actually probably when you like really knew more about it. Because that was I got royalty inside my DNA.
Yeah, I definitely. Yeah. I mean, and I have fallen in love with him since. I mean, my heart will always go Tupac and Eminem. And they are lyricist rap like.
And I think for my generation, the other one I'm just quickly transition.
It wasn't done, but cool.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I just want to do it.
Say
go,
it.
Go. You don't get to give me that look and then let me sit with it and like be all right. No pun intended.
Stop.
We gonna be all right.
No, I was gonna say, okay, so for me, Tupac, Me Against the World is like, I mean, I don't feel like any of his albums
are. Eyes on me.
Yeah, like he's just America's Most Wanted. I love America's Most
Wanted.
Oh
my God. Sorry. Do you have an Outkast album on there?
Stankonia.
Okay, thank God.
Yeah. I didn't write it. I don't think I wrote it on here, but
I just thought of it like, some of the legendary rappers.
I was gonna wear my, because look, my nails are painted the color of my Outkast, like not intentionally. I just painted my nails last night, and I was like, and then when I'm looking through my shirts, I have 3 Tupac shirts, by the way. I don't have any Eminem gear, and I really wish that I did. But so for Tupac, he was the first rapper that like poetry wise. I like, and I've written poetry. I haven't written in a long time, but when growing up, I wrote a lot of poetry. Yeah. And I mean, a lot of songs, that's what they are. Is they're poems put to music, you know?
To the word to a beat.
Yeah. And I just really, really resonated. Not that I understood what it was like to be in Oakland, right? And all of that life, but I still... that's one of the things I love about music is that even if you haven't actually experienced these things, you can still resonate with their soul. And that's like his soul spoke to my soul. And that was the same with Eminem. Yeah. Like, I wouldn't say necessarily on this first album. I mean, like immediately out of the gate, I'm like, who the fuck is this? Like, what? With My Name Is, right? Like,
My Name Is.
It's like, okay, this is a crazy white boy, right? But then as he progressed, I realized, and my soul really did resonate with his because I grew up with such a horrible childhood, right? Yeah. And he was like literally, not that we experienced exactly the same thing, but we experienced very similar things. And so it was something, I'm trying to hurry.
No, we're good. We're actually good.
I was like,
I feel like we're not talking enough about. We're not doing these albums justice.
I'm telling you. So for me, the Eminem Show is like the first one that he had that was completely not skippable. Like it's got White America, Business,
White America.
Obviously, what is it? What is the one that's from this that they have on the Suicide Squad too?
Oh, do they have My Name Is?
No,
they have. It's the
real back. Back again.
Real
yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. I don't know. It's really, really good. Kamikaze of his is a no skippable. Like it's so for me.
For there's some songs I might skip.
No, I wouldn't. Unrecovery also is a no skip for me, and I'm sure that has a lot also to do with personal whatever. I think that was like the only rap ones that I had.
Well, no, I'm just surprised I'm glad you meant, like, I thought of Outkast.
Obviously, yes, Stankonia is so good.
It would be Equipment actually. Like, Roses, but like,
I mean, yeah, for you,
like, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
Yeah, like
ooh, I am for real.
Well, it's not even just that.
How many times?
B.O.B. on there? Like
what?
It's B.O.B. right? Isn't that what that one is?
Well, I know it's So Fresh So Clean is on.
Yeah,
that
So Fresh So Clean is on there.
Hey Ya.
Yeah, it was just a very culturally.
Hey Ya's on something else, I think.
Outkast in general was just culturally just so. I don't know how to explain it. I think they altered everybody's brain chemistry that listened to them.
I guess if it's like if you want to wrap up the rap, I'll just say like my other ones that I rap real quick, just like quick shout outs, and then one I'll talk about because I think obviously because of the internet, Damn, obviously mentioned the Forever Story by JID or Jid.
I really need to listen to him because you talk about him all the time.
Oh my god, that album that just came out literally should have won rap album of the year. I do not care. Do not listen to me.
What did win rap album?
I don't know. But I also think it came out the same year Kendrick drops. But I don't think he won. I don't remember what won. Atlantis by Chaos. He's like a way more when people actually say like, what's the term? You probably wouldn't know about them. Like you probably wouldn't know about them, but like you should look it up. Iridescence by Brockhampton. I feel like I mentioned Brockhampton before. And then the two like that also really had a hold, especially on my generation. Acid Rap by Chance the Rapper. Basically broke him into the thing. Grammy, Best New Artist, like oh my god, like early on Chance, peak. That Acid Rap was a no skip. And then 2014 Forest Hill Drives, another one that my generation would consider the GOAT, J. Cole.
Yeah, that's another one that I haven't really listened to that I do need to.
Like the storytelling on that 2014 Forest Hill Drives, oh my god. Yeah. And it's like that's the best way I can describe a no skip album, the way it would make me feel is like literally sometimes I listen to them, I like shake. I go like, oh, it's just so good.
I'm so glad you're having seizures.
It literally makes me want a seizure. Like I'm like, well, ugh.
What is it?
First things first. Rest in peace, Uncle Phil. For real.
You know, when we were talking about Michael Jackson, I should have segued into Janet Jackson and how she Rhythm Nation
came out the car looking more like Freddie Jackson.
Rhythm Nation was just. I feel like it was her solidifying, like, hey, I'm not just Michael's little sister. Like, I've got my own talent. I'm amazing as well, and she definitely is. And then, so that was I think a lot of her albums are no skip albums, if I'm being honest, just like Michael's would be. But for me, the two were Rhythm Nation and her Janet. That's the one that has If I Was Your Girl in it, and Again, and that one. Even though I love Rhythm Nation so much, and that was when I think it's because there's two different time periods in my life. I was a little kid with Rhythm Nation. I was a junior or senior when Janet or somewhere around there. I was in high school when Janet came out, so just like a very different mindset.
Yeah,
is so good.
How many do you have left? Because I looked and I only have one like I'm like serious about, and two that I am serious about, but it's kind of like for funsies.
There's one. There's three other soundtracks that I feel like are.
Well, the other two that are for funsies are soundtracks. So I'll just say the last, like I guess, the man who I get called at first before Chance the Rapper. It's just kind of racist.
You don't look anything like Chance the Rapper.
I didn't when I.
Because you are not a bobblehead.
Damn.
Yes. What? He's a big head.
But The Weeknd, but specifically Beauty Behind the Madness. And that's the one that says, I can't feel my face when
That's a soundtrack?
That's not a soundtrack. I said one last one.
Okay. So I was going to say, I didn't think that was a soundtrack.
No.
I was like, what?
No, but that one. Have you listened? You probably haven't listened to the full album. With I Can't Feel My Face.
Beauty I've listened to the, yes.
You have?
Yeah.
Oh, then that's, no. Yes. I love like all of his Starboy.
Yeah, no.
I'm blanking on the rest of them. I can only think I own Starboy. That's why I thought of it. I would have brought out Starboy, especially because I love the red vinyl. But Beauty Behind the Madness, I think is like.
Speaking of,
it's like it encapsulates that era and that time so well.
Another really good no skippable soundtrack is 50 Shades of Grey. He has his songs on there.
I think from that album.
Yeah, from that album.
Yeah, earned it.
I was gonna say the Waiting to Exhale soundtrack. It has TLC on it. It has Whitney Houston, obviously.
Oh, the last of your soundtracks now?
These are my soundtracks. I'm gonna go through real fast. It has
my last
Chaka Khan on it.
Chaka Khan.
Yeah, like it's a no skippable. It's so good. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Did we already talk about that?
No, we haven't.
But it's so good. That whole album is so good.
That's the same feeling as Black Panther.
Yeah. It's so no, just like the entire album. What is that one? The one that has Nicki Minaj on it.
Oh, Familia? No.
Yeah.
Is it Familia?
Familia. Yeah. And then because it was played earlier when I was getting ready, so I was like, oh, I gotta add this because I almost forgot it. And then the Romeo and Juliet soundtrack, again, another one from my high school years. Yes, the one with Leo.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That is it's such a Desiree's song on that is so good. It has Loveful on it. You know?
Yeah.
So and then it's just very haunting but it's such a good sound. It's such a good movie.
Yeah.
But those were the ones. I have a few more that aren't soundtracks.
The last things I have are just it. That's the last ones I had, the last two.
Oh, what do you want me to do? Here's some like smaller, I don't know, that aren't as well known. I'm gonna try to wrap these real quick. We Started Nothing by the Ting Tings.
Yeah.
The song that most people would know because I've seen it on TikTok is the one That's Not My Name.
Oh yeah.
But like that entire album is really, really good. I remember it came out and I was just obsessed with it. What was the other one? Hold on. Sorry. Oh, Be Okay by Ingrid Michaelson.
Yeah, that's a great
That
one.
is like if you just kind of want to chill.
Yeah.
You know, like, but not like definitely not in a melancholy way.
No.
Like, and it's just like I want to relax. I love her rendition of what is it? The Elvis song, Can't Help Falling in Love. And Somewhere Over the Rainbow. Both those are on there. She does a really good job with both of them. Begin to Hope by Regina Spektor. Yeah. That was a huge album. It's not a little known album, but I think a few people, they only know like the main songs off of there. And that whole album is so good. It's another one that has a lot of haunting, like, I don't know, just I love every single song on that album. This one I know most people don't know of, but you know it. April Smith and the Great Picture Show.
I saw on there, yeah.
It's the album's called Songs for Sinking Ship. It's the only album they had. Every single song is amazing on there. Like, I don't skip it ever. I'll listen to the entire album all the way through. It's another one. It's like if you just want to chill. Like, there is a kind of sad song on there too.
I just remembered an album that I would put Dookie by Green Day.
That's it. Obviously, yeah.
And no explanation needed.
No. And then I'm gonna talk real quickly about one of my all-time favorite bands. You know that I've seen like 5 times.
We should just do a whole episode on like our favorite artists.
Oh yeah, it's Blue October.
Because then we could allocate more to Blue October.
Right. Yeah. They're a Texas band, a Texas-based band. They've had 2 mainstream songs, Calling You, which was on the American Pie Wedding soundtrack, I think.
I don't know.
That was the one that kind of started getting them noticed. And then Hate Me is probably their biggest album, or biggest selling record, you know, which is off the Foiled album. And I would say that is a no-skip album. But I think their probably most no-skip album is History for Sale. And it's the first time, like, I really heard some. I'm sure there have been other songs, obviously, that deals with mental health and things like that. But Justin, the lead singer, there's so much. He emotes so well when he sings, and it just like A Quiet Mind's on there. And it was the first time I heard it in music, like someone explain what it feels like inside my brain. You know, like it's just there's I don't know, and there's also some like really like kind of like angry like get you songs on there, but I don't know, like if you're someone has a lot of mental health issues, or like because I'm very neurodivergent, I have CPTSD, like, and especially if you grew up feeling like so fucking weird and like different, you know, I just really resonated with that album so much, and then that band in general. Like, I worked the steps in my 12-step program to Foiled. Like, so that's probably another reason it's a no skip album for me, is because I was going through the steps at the time and it just really just resonated with me. So I think that was all the ones I have. I mean, there's a lot more I could list because
I was strictly say I just really just 3. If someone said, hey, can you write a soundtrack to this random animated movie that we're making? It's no big. It's just about like a raccoon who like meets like this turtle and his other foresty friends or woodland friends, and they like go into the suburbs and like steal something for a bear. Over the Hedge has the greatest animated soundtrack. I do not care. Ben Folds is a written god. Speaking of animated movies, the best animated movie, Surf's Up, which has literally Drive by Incubus, the way that played over a penguin surfing in the ocean. And then lastly, my generation can approve of, not my favorite drink, but I'll sure take a Lemonade Mouth. That is the best Disney original movie of all time. I thought
you were going to say Lemonade by Beyonce, which I would say is a no skip album as well.
No, that's a good one too.
That one, yes. But yes, I don't know. There's so much we could do so many episodes about music because, again,
my back's uncomfortable. That's why I'm sitting this weirdly.
I'm uncomfortable, period, so it wouldn't matter which way I sit.
We could do, this episode has been going for 50 minutes. We could do probably 50 minutes on one of these albums.
Yeah, we probably, I definitely could do a whole episode about Blue October.
I could give, if school is about giving oral reports about albums, I'd be straight A's, and I would stay in it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But I just say
we'll do more with these, I think, and more with music in general because it does resonate with.
These are just both. A few of ours. Like, there's no way I could. Not even. It was so hard to narrow down. Yeah. I didn't even get to any country. I would just real quickly. The Chicks, Fly, and Home album are not skippable albums. This is the Chicks in general. If you listen to them, if you don't really think, I don't really love country. Brandy Carlisle. Actually, we just named like a lot of artists that we could name off that are just amazing.
So we should say that.
We should say that, yeah.
But
we hope you enjoyed it and that some of these are some of your no skippables. I mean, I guess you can leave in comments if you want. Tell us what yours are.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some I haven't heard of. Yeah.
New music. But yeah.
Guess that's a wrap. Not like a.
That's a
go to my sink and vomit, clean it up with Comet rap.
I love you.
You know what?
I'm kidding.
Malibu's was wanted as an amazing film.
That's another great soundtrack. But I love you.
I love you.
To the back.
To the back.
To the back.
Podcast. Did I mess that up? I messed it up. I'm so sorry.
It's oil.
I don't know how we get it in the mornings, but or the start of it, and then towards the end, my brain.
Podcast.